Yeah, hi, hello, good morning. I want to talk about rhetorical questions and reformulation because these are two very useful things to do when you are giving or taking part in the seminar group discussion. Let's just check first we understand what rhetorical questions and reformulation are. Rhetorical question, quite simple. It's a question you ask, but you give the answer yourself. And the reason for doing this is simply to get people to listen to you. A simple, obvious example. If I stand up in a room and say, hey, do you want to know the best way to get $10 million? Everyone's listening. Then I give the answer myself. Well, I think you should get a gun, go to a bank, tra-la-la. Reformulation is simple. It means changing the words of something, for example in a sentence, but you keep the original meaning. And you can do this, and I'm sure you do this, in your own language. And a simple example is, I could say to you, ooh, it's very cold today. It's really freezing. You see? I'm repeating myself. Ooh, it's very cold today. It's really freezing. Very cold, really freezing. They mean the same thing. And it's like paraphrasing. When you're taking some words, for example, from a text or the meaning, just change the words. Keep the same meaning. So the exercise we're doing now, rhetorical questions and reformulation, very useful for the seminar group discussion. Here's an example of a paragraph from Article A about, surprise, surprise, the gender gap in the University of Alaska. What I recommend you do, take the first sentence, the topic sentence. That's got the main idea. Here we've got, well, you can see, the gender gap in the University of Alaska exists for all students, but is far more extreme for Alaskan native males, especially rural males. Take that sentence, change it into a question, and pretend you're making this point to get people to listen to you in the seminar group discussion. For example, does the gender gap exist in the University of Alaska system for all students? Then you give the answer. Well, it does, but it's far more extreme for male students, especially Alaskan native rural males. You see? Change the topic sentence into a question, answer the question with the supporting or following details or evidence. Does the gender gap exist in the University of Alaska for all students? Well, I read it does, but it's far more extreme for male students. Tra-la-la. You could also do some reformulation here. Very simple. Far more extreme. Far more extreme. Second line. Another way to say far more extreme is much greater. Much greater. Also, there's some facts here, some figures. It says about halfway down, 69% of students in the University of Alaska are female. 69%. We could reformulate that, change it into almost 3/4. 69%, almost 3/4. Far more extreme, much greater. So now I'm going to do the rhetorical question, answer it myself with some reformulation of the facts. Is there a gender gap in the University of Alaska for all students? Well, I read there is, but it's much greater for Alaskan native students, for example, rural males. Did you know that almost 75% of students at the University of Alaska are female? You see, got it. Rhetorical question and reformulation. Let's do one more example. Another paragraph from Article A. Here, topic sentence. According to program records, 66% of the 1,036 students attending RAHI, you know what that is, were female. That's my topic sentence. Let's change that into a rhetorical question. What do the program records say about the gender gap? You see? Then I can continue with, well, I read that and some information. What do the program records at RAHI say about the gender gap? And then continue with some information. Two things I could reformulate here. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, line 5, obtaining, lines 4 and 5, obtaining doctorates. Well, that means getting PhDs. And later it says 78% at the end, 78% getting bachelor's degrees. Oh, that's more than 3/4. More than three quarters getting BAs were female. So again, let's try one more rhetorical question and some supporting evidence, but I'm going to reform what I read. What do the program records at RAHI say about the gender gap? Well, they're quite interesting, because I read that 100% of the students who got PhDs were female, and also more than 75%, more than 3/4 students getting BAs were also female. You see? Rhetorical question and also supporting evidence with reformulation. You do that in the assessment, your teacher behind you making notes, you're happy, well done, and your teacher behind you making notes, assessing you, is also very happy. I recommend you do a few examples yourselves, get some paragraphs from Article A, do exactly what I've done, practice, well done. You do that, I'm going to have some coffee and a cigarette. See you later.